I'm starting to think that maybe our brain is our biggest enemy. Maybe, maybe our brain is the problem. So I was sitting on the bus coming home today, and I was thinking, like, I was kind of thinking of some topics, and one thing that really popped up is something I've been struggling with for the past couple of days. So I've been talking to this girl, and she's awesome, but I have noticed kind of how my brain works, and I've dealt with all of this stuff long enough to kind of know what to watch out for, kind of look for patterns when I'm about to spiral or when I'm about to, feel something. And I've noticed that my problem, I kind of talked about this in the first video, but my problem is really the need of constant reassurance. That's what I've learned is my problem. And I noticed this because obviously you guys know, or maybe you guys don't know, but Snapchat has, if you guys don't know, Snapchat has the ability to, if someone's sharing their location with you, you can get on and like see where they are, see their status, see if they're online last time they were online. And that feature, I just want to say, in a way, I really hate that feature. Because it allows me to check, which I probably shouldn't. And kind of here's what I'm saying. So like I said, I'm kind of a person that needs constant reassurance. And I know that's a really unattractive thing, and I'm trying to improve it, and I'm trying to at least hide it until I can improve it. And I'm slowly getting better. But what I'll do, and let me know if you guys relate to this, I'm sure that somebody out there does. I'll send a message, and I'll wait. And if I don't get an answer back quickly, my brain instantly says, well, check to see what they're doing. Check to see if they've been online, check to see if they are online, where they're at. And I do that, and then it's usually never good. And I'm not trying to say that I expect the people to answer right away all the time. I mean, I understand I'm not the only thing in their life, and everybody has a life. I understand that, but my brain doesn't. Because I understand, obviously, I'm not the center of everybody's lives. I'm not really the center of anybody's lives. And so I'm not going to be their first priority. And I logically understand that. I understand that, hey, people have a life. People can't just drop whatever they're doing, and, people aren't constantly on their phone like I am. People aren't like that. At least not everybody is. And it's just, I logically understand that, but I also at the same time, my emotional side doesn't. And I always end up hurting myself because I think in a way I push people away with constant reassurance. And I mean, I don't blame them. I have been pushed away a couple times by people that are like that. And it's annoying for me because like, I don't want to be annoying for them. I don't want to have to constantly ask, are we okay? And like most people, I've never really made it past the second phase in a relationship. You have the honeymoon phase, and then you have that phase afterwards, the phase that, nobody really gets through, because that's where you start to see, the true thing and go through the most arguments and the most distance and everything. And I've never really made it past one of those. And in some relationships, I've made it there, but then they kind of, I don't want to say they pull away, but we don't talk 24/7. Like with the relationship I'm in now, like I've kind of passed the point where, we talk 24/7, get home from school, text instantly, call, couple, minutes later, text again for an hour. We've kind of passed that phase up, and I'm aware that we don't have to do that to be happy, and that we have our own lives. But when I see the person online, my brain goes, well, why aren't they texting me? You know, and maybe that makes me selfish. I don't mean to be selfish. I don't mean to be like that. I don't expect them to text me all the time, but my brain's just like, well, you know, if they aren't texting you, what are they doing? You know, if they aren't on there texting you, they have to be texting somebody else. And that's not the case 97% of the time. You know, Snapchat has kind of everything. And it's not even just Snapchat either. It's, you know, anything that allows you to see somebody's activity is, I kind of struggle with this. Like Instagram is another one that I really struggle with. Facebook, you know, any app that lets you see, you know, that side. But it's like, I'll see them online and I'm like, logically, I'm like, okay, they're living a life. Maybe they're talking to their friend, you know. But emotionally, I'm like, well, why aren't they texting me? And they don't have to. And I'm kind of saying this for even later for myself to come back and listen to this, because I feel like it would be helpful. But if you guys are going through something like this too, just know that it's not your fault. And I mean, I can't say for sure that they're not pulling away, but 97% of the time they're not. 97% of the time they're living their life too. And, you know, I mean, I have to think of it this way. I've recently been looking at a situation from both perspectives, which is something I've never really done before. I've been looking at a situation from their perspective, from how they would see it. And it's really helped me in a lot of ways. Like, for example, what we were just talking about, someone being online all this time and not texting. Well, I'm kind of like that too. I mean, I'll get online and I'll wait because I'll want them to text first. But I'll be sitting in Snapchat just watching them. And then it's like, well, from their perspective, isn't the same thing happening? Like, they may not be watching me, but from their perspective, I'm just sitting in Snapchat, not really messaging them either. You know, or, you know, I'll get on and just text my friend and not text them. Well, then you're doing the exact same thing that you're scared of. You know, and it's like, I've recently been doing that with everything. And I think that the reason most of us just look past that is because we know how we feel. We trust ourselves. And I'm not a really good truster. I don't trust a lot of people. There's very few people that I fully trust. And that's maybe 3 people. There may be 3 people that I 100% trust. Now, there's some people that I 97% trust. You know, there's some people that I trust you, just not with everything. And there's some people that I just don't trust at all. And I think this is The Village. We got episode 1. But yeah, I mean, I've been looking at everything from both perspectives. And I mean, another good example, or another thing that I struggle with, and maybe some other people struggle with too, is seeing the person talking to other people. And I realize how selfish this makes me sound, but I don't mean it in that way. I really have trust issues. But I mean, think of it this way. If you have kind of that same situation, think of it this way. You have other friends, right? I mean, I sure hope you would. I mean, I know some people don't. Some people have like 2 friends, and I was there once, so I understand that. But think of it this way. You most likely, I'd say, you know, a good chunk of you guys have other friends that you talk to too. And, you know, think of it from their perspective. I mean, it can be another gender friend. I mean, honestly, most of my friends are girls. I have very few friends that are boys. And I have to think of, well, how does that look from her perspective? From her perspective, I mean, she's dealing with the same thing, because most of her, I wouldn't say most of her friends, but she has some friends that are boys. And I'm not one to be like, you can't have any friends of the opposite gender. Like, I don't really care. I mean, just don't do, you know, anything bad, I guess. It's like, so I have to look at it from the opposite side. I mean, in a way, it kind of scares me that she has friends that are boys, but I have to be reasonable. and I can't be controlling, because that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be controlling. And I have to look at it from my perspective, from her perspective. Well, I have a bunch of friends that are girls, and she has to deal with that, you know? I mean, she doesn't I don't mean it in like a, oh, she has to deal with it, or, you know, something bad will happen. That's not what I mean. It's just, she's going through the same thing that I am. She sees me talk to these girls, and I have no intention. I have no feelings for them. I only have feelings for her. And it's like, but she may not fully know that. And then from my perspective, you know, I know that she doesn't have any feelings for them. But, I mean, she knows that, but I don't fully know that. You know, so it's, you take it as both directions. And that's a big tip I'd give to anybody out there. If you take anything away from this video, it's that right there. Look at things from both perspectives. If you're having a panic attack, or I know sometimes people can't think when they're having a panic attack, but if you're stressing out, take a second, breathe, and then just say, well, how does this look? Or what is it from their perspective? Because I promise you, if over half of the time, 97% of the time, it's going to be, well, you've done the same thing before. 97% of the time, it's going to be, well, you do this exact same thing, just on the other side. Here's a really good example. Now this is kind of, I have to be careful how I word this because it's kind of a little too personal, but we were having a homecoming at my school. And at the time, this person I was dating, we had, this is really confusing. But so I was originally with this girl, but I didn't get with her until after I already had a quote unquote date to homecoming. I mean, I was just going with my friend, but I didn't get with this person until after I already promised my friend I would go with her. And as you can expect, the person I was dating, once they found out that I was going with them, was mad, and we broke up. And I didn't blame them. I understand. I mean, I wanted to go with them too, but I didn't want to be mean and break my promise. So I ended up still going with my friend. But between the time that the other person broke up and homecoming, I got with another girl. And she already had one of her friends going to homecoming too. So I was dating her, but I was going with a different girl and she was going with a different boy. And yeah, it stressed me out because she went with somebody that she used to have feelings with. But honestly, I went with somebody that I used to have feelings for too. So yeah, it stressed me out. But at the same time, she was going through that same amount of stress. Or, I mean, I don't know if she did or not, but she had to deal with that same experience. I mean, however she dealt with it is how she does it. But she had to go through that same experience. And I know that's an oddly specific thing, but I mean, you guys can fit that into any way you need to. You know, any experience, I promise you, half of the time is going to be different if you look at it from the other perspective. And it's going to be a different, you know, experience. And I mean, I'm trying to think of another situation, but that's just, I know I've really strayed away from the topic of this video, but I'm sitting here, and instead of me talking about my experiences, I'm trying to help you guys for once. Last week, I did a lot of my personal stories, and you guys seem to like that a lot, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to mix things up a little bit and just try to help you guys. Because I've been getting some emails recently of people that have been sharing their life experiences and things and telling me that my videos were helpful, and that means the world to me. I'm so happy that I could help you guys. But, you know, I want to kind of stop just sharing my personal experiences and kind of help you guys more. But yeah, so just, I mean, I know this whole video is kind of about looking at it from the other perspective, but I mean, it still goes hand in hand with your brain being against you, because your mind, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Your mind is here to protect you. That's its whole purpose in life, is to keep you safe and to keep you alive. Basically, that's literally its whole purpose. So it does whatever it has to get that done. So it's basically a giant filter. So, like, for example, let's say, you know, you're going through a situation like I am where you're dating somebody and the situation happens and they don't pull back, but they just stop talking 24/7. Your brain's going to see that as, hey, she's pulling back. He or she, they're pulling back. Because that's what your brain does. I know for me, I've had a lot of situations happen where, yeah, the moment that I stopped talking first, they left. But it's not fair for the person I'm with now to have to experience that, to have to go through that. And yeah, I know as a partner, you're supposed to like be there for and respect the other person's trauma or whatever. And yeah, she does. I'm not saying she doesn't, but it's not fair for her to have to bear whatever the word is, all that weight. And so that's why I don't drop it on her all the time. I have so many situations where I'm fighting the urge to ask if we're still okay. I fight so many urges, but at the end of the day, it's healthier that way. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're still okay. I'm just having a little anxiety attack. So, yeah, so if you take anything away from this video, it's that your brain isn't against you, it's just protecting you. And it does that however it needs to, and sometimes you have to retrain it to do it in certain ways. Like, for example, I'll do one more story of kind of the reason why I am the way that I am. This is kind of a little funny story. Well, now it's funny, because I'm kind of now getting through it. So about 5 years ago, I met the friend group that I'm with right now. And I met them, and there was this boy, or two boys and a girl that was in this friend group, and then I joined them. And this one girl had really bad depression. It was really bad. Well, I kind of liked her in a way. Like, at that time, I don't now, but then I had really big feelings for her. And I think I left my boat back there. So my little teeny tiny child brain was like, okay, we need to be as like her as possible. Like, I need to do everything like her. So my little dumb self started faking being depressed. Started thinking like a depressed person. Started, you know, purposely making myself cry. Purposely having over-exaggerated thoughts. I literally faked suicidal thoughts. And saying this now, I mean, it's funny, but it's not, because that's not something you should fake. But at the time, I'm like, okay, if I can be like her, she'll like me back, you know? Well, if you guys know anything about your brain, it learns from repetition, and that's what it does. So about 3 months in, I really started to have these feelings and have these thoughts, and I'm just now like getting over them. So half of the problems in my life are because of the stupid stuff I did back then. And I know that probably nobody else has that experience, but you never know. But yeah, so that's going to kind of wrap up this video. I don't want these videos to be any longer than 20 minutes. So, and this one's getting really close, if not a little bit over. So yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. If you guys have anything, any suggestions, comments, feedback, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you have anything you'd like to privately message me, my Gmail is in the description down below. You can message me there. I try to check it every day, if not a day or two later, and I respond to every single one of them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. If you have anything you'd like to say, or if you like the video in general, underneath the video, all of that is down there. And I'll see you all on the next one. Stay positive.